What's up, family? Welcome to Truth by Him podcast, number one podcast for men's health and wellness. I'm Anthony.
I'm Barron.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to another episode, another week in the studio. So we're here, boy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Another week. It's just you just got maintaining, and keeping it pushing, and knowing that our timing is not. We always want to do stuff on our time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just knowing that divine timing is the most important. So just letting the week and letting it make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do, baby.
Fix my mic here for a second. Hold on. Kind of. All right, cool.
Good.
So
How's your week?
Week has been a bit challenging.
Yeah.
It's been a challenging week.
Yeah.
It started on Friday. There's something about us, probably parents in general, but really men, we want to protect our kids from any and everything. Even it doesn't matter what age they're at.
I know, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and when you can't do that, you feel like, and I know it's a limited belief, but you feel like a failure in a sense. Like you can't, like, man, I wish I could have seen this coming.
Yeah.
But even when we see things coming with our kids, we can't stop it because they have to experience every aspect of life, the joy, the pain, the love, the heartbreak, everything. And this week was a bit of a challenge with my daughter. So it's like,
good old girls,
girls. So just like walking her through and just seeing her in a certain mindset. As a dad, it pains me, right? Because I want to fix it.
We're fixers.
When I fix it, I want to take that pain from her and give it to me. But I know that everything that she's going through, that they'll go through, is make them stronger, make them better. One thing that I had a very, very proud dad moment this week, right? And that moment was when my daughter was going through what she was going through. My other kids came and they were there for her. They loved on her, they cared for her, they hugged her, they encouraged her.
I can see that with your kids.
Right,
yeah.
exactly, right. And it was a really, 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 really amazing moment for me, right? So,
Yeah.
But it's we have to walk through things, we have to experience things because we can't shelter our kids and keep them from experiencing life because one day we won't be here.
Yeah.
And they have to really feel the whole life experience, right? The great, the middle, the bad, feel it all. But
They got to know how to adjust.
but it was just with that, it was very, very challenging.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a dynamic that I think we all experience at some point, or if not some point, often.
Right,
in
right.
parenting. We want to not only support our kids, but we want to take any pain away. We don't want them to feel, any type of pain, and that's why we tell them certain things. If you just listen, I'm trying to make it a lot easier for you, but sometimes they don't want to listen.
Yeah.
They have to experience it themselves. So,
But we didn't listen.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But I know even though we tell them things, but some things that they have to experience.
They
like,
have
no
to
matter what.
experience. Yep.
So
All we
anyway,
can do is be there and be present.
That's it. That's it. And I'm doing that, and I want to make sure that that's what my intention and goal is.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, family? I know you're enjoying the show, but I want to take a quick break and talk to you guys about the importance of getting good sleep. Now, for the past few years, I would go to bed and I would wake up in the middle of the night constantly. My sleep wasn't complete throughout the night. It was always interrupted. And I would still wake up tired. I would still wake up with no focus. I would still wake up with brain fog. But then a friend of mine told me about these Goli ashwagandha gummies, and they help with stress and focus. And also the biggest thing for me is that I was able to take these things and sleep through the night. My sleep patterns began to be more normalized, right? And I would wake up and I wouldn't be tired. I'll sleep through the night, and I've noticed a change in my stress level, my anxiety, my focus, my sleep, and more importantly, waking up refreshed and waking up not tired. So I wanted to share this with you guys and let you know that you can get these right now on Amazon. And if you click a link down below in the description, we are having a special on these just for our listeners. Let me know how they work for you. Let me know if your stress is better, your anxiety is better, if your sleep pattern is better, right? Let me know. So other than that, back to the show.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about the ageless athlete.
Ageless athlete. Okay. Where are we? That sounds like a core 4 type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I popped that.
I heard that.
Yeah, that was that was really nice. Ageless Athlete, huh? Okay. I like Ageless Athlete. What's the other part? I always forget the other part. Ageless Athlete.
The other part is mastering your health in midlife and beyond.
Mastering your health in midlife and beyond. Yeah, because we're not 18 anymore, 19 anymore, and going to the gym at 18 was different for me. You think about it. When we think about going to the gym when we were younger, it was more work out on this machine, work out on that machine, work out on that machine, work out on that machine. Now it's more deliberate. Like, what do we want to do now? We want to build cardio. We want to have healthier bodies so that we're here longer. So our fitness, which is our core 4, is a part of that, and we work out and we exercise, not only for us, but so that we can be there for our family, be there for them daughters and them sons of ours. So, we want to be, I know me personally, you're already there, and that's what I admire. Like, you are a healthy grandfather.
I'm a grandpa.
Yep. So you didn't know what I was going to say. You was like, hold on.
I'm like, I'm there. Shit. Like, where
I'm
at.
There. You're that healthy grandfather stage, and that's where, when and if I ever become a grandfather, I want to make sure that I don't look like a grandfather. So, those are great motivators, but
actually, I'm a papa.
Did you call yourself Papa?
No. That's what they call me.
Okay, all right. Papa. I don't know about that. I've been thinking about that. What would I call myself?
You gonna be G-Dad.
I was thinking about that.
G-Dad.
G-Dad or G-Pop or G-Daddy OG or something like that.
Dang. Okay.
I don't know, but I thought about these. What would I be called?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. I thought about that, but yeah, a lot of my friends and everybody around me are already grandfathers.
Yeah.
So I know my time's coming. I know it's inevitable, and I'm starting to prepare.
Yeah. There's this trend going around that my son asked me about. I saw it on social, and the question is, who would win, a gorilla or 100 men?
Right.
You heard that, right?
I've heard that. I've seen it.
So my son asked me, and my response was, he's like, I believe it will be the gorilla because the gorilla has the strength of over 100 men.
Right.
And then he said, what about if it was 100 bodybuilders, right? So my response was, well, muscle does not equate to strength or health, right? Because a lot of people are big and on the outside have big mass, but inside they're unhealthy.
Right.
They can't run a half mile. They can't run a mile. They can't do any of that, right?
The stamina alone. They can't even hang in
and then
fight.
There are bodybuilders that actually are like just dying off right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, like, you know what? The strength doesn't mean that you're in shape or you're in healthy. Right. Even being skinny doesn't mean that you're in shape or you're healthy. There's such thing as skinny fat.
Right. Or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're weak either, just because you're skinny.
Exactly.
I've seen some strong skinny guys.
Exactly. So it's all about one, especially like in well, let me go back real quick, just so you know, who do you think that will win, a gorilla or 100 men?
So. There's so many questions I have with this one. Are we talking about 100 regular men?
Yeah,
Are we talking about a wild, primitive?
No, just regular
ape?
men.
No, I'm talking about is the ape primitive and wild?
A gorilla,
like the
ones you see. The gorillas.
A wild gorilla.
Gorillas.
Primitive.
Yeah.
And give me the gorilla. The gorilla's winning.
Facts.
Yeah, the gorilla is winning because I just don't.
You got so many questions.
I do. Of course, because you got to paint the picture if you want me to answer the question. Is it 100 regular men? Is it 100? I need to know that. Is it like, specialty? Some dudes that are special in combat, hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, I don't think that matters. Yeah, that don't matter. It's strength. It's pure strength.
I don't. Yeah. And then, are we really gonna?
Have you seen a gorilla's hands? It's like two of mine. Like one is like like massive.
Yeah. I've seen them, and they're wild and angry. Yeah. How you gonna kill it? How would you kill it? Gorilla. That would be my question for the person that's saying that we can tackle a gorilla. If I was part of that 100, and I seen the first wave of guys getting trampled on and beat down,
I'm going that way.
I'm out. I'm out. This is not for me. I know this is a fight and a battle I can't win.
You ain't going first.
I'm not going first, second, or 15th.
Right.
I'm not going. So, yeah, I mean, anybody with sense.
Yeah.
You see it the first time, and you see, you go into it with 100 guys. You tell 50 guys, at least 50 guys going to die. How many 100 of those guys are going to stay? If I know half of us are dying, I could be half. I'm cool. I'm cool. So, yeah, no. Give me the gorilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
The gorilla. Sean, what you think? Okay.
Gorilla.
There you go. So, well,
it's a consensus.
Unanimous, right?
Yep. The gorilla wins.
Okay. So I lost my thought again. but I was there are a lot of guys and girls, because I look at people, right? I look at people who are younger, who are in a sense fitter. I'm like, okay. But then I look at people who are younger and not as fit as I am, right? So it like goes both ways. So it's just like you have to really look at where you are compared to the world, compared to based on the stats. You and I are in better shape than most people younger or older, right? Because we take the time to really care about our health. Now, for me, I'm not perfect,
none of us are.
I will grab a chocolate cake in a minute and stuff my face, right? Some cookies,
honey buns,
honey buns. Not anymore. I won't do honey buns and cinnamon rolls anymore. I walked past yesterday. I was at the mall. I walked past Cinnabon.
Traumatized.
I ran.
It's triggered. It's triggered.
I am not touching a cinnamon roll ever again in my life. I don't know what you put on that thing. Even the big corporate cinnamon rolls. I'm good. I'm good.
That's gonna always be funny.
But I know that I'm not perfect. But I make it a point to take care of my body, my temple, because I know that I want to be there, be here for as long as possible. Right. I want to be able to go to games. And I met a person that I used to go to high school with. I seen him again after years, right? Mm-hmm. And he pulled up at my office, and he was in a wheelchair, right? And same age, right? And looked older than me, and I'm like, okay, this is why it's important to take care of yourself younger, because I don't want to end up here,
right? Because
I want to be able to go to games and sit in the stands and be there with no pain and run around, and because I like being able to train my kids myself, right? At times, up and down the court, up and down the track, do sit-ups and push-ups. So I'm a should I say ex-athlete? No, all right. No, I'm still an athlete. Yeah. Athlete. So I'm an athlete. So my kids are athletes, and I want to be able to be the one that's there, have the ability to run and jump with them as I need to.
Who better to do it? Right. Exactly. Who better to do it than you? And then I'm sure you guys, that's quality time.
Right.
That is conversations that can be had. That is life lessons that can be taught.
Right.
So, I mean, exactly. That's the whole motivation for us trying to stay. It's not I would say it is not all about vanity. It's part of it. It's definitely part of it. And we were not going to sit here and lie that we don't want to make sure we don't look right.
It makes you feel good when you look right? Yeah.
Like Deion Sanders said, when you look good, you play good. Yeah. So
you play good, they pay you good.
Play good, pay good. You play good, they pay you good. Right. So so it all starts with your own motivation. Your own motivation of self is what gets you up and gets you out. But the motivation of family, the motivation of, honestly, on the other side of it, the motivation that you see people who are in wheelchairs at our age, who are, look a little older than we look. That is a motivation. I don't want to go down that road. That is a warning sign. So let me get in the gym. So there's a lot of motivators. It's just if you pay attention to them or not.
Yeah.
One of my biggest motivators, especially in 2025, and we go to the gym, is we pay for the gym.
Yeah.
And the gym I don't know if you get these emails. Do you get these emails once a month from the gym?
I don't.
So there's an email that they send you once a month, and it tells you basically your progress for that month.
Like your check-ins?
Your check-ins. Okay. Your check-ins. If you hop on that total body count machine, it gives you all of that stuff. I haven't done it in months, but it definitely sends you how many times you went to the gym in that month. And I'll sit there and I'll look and I'll say, I only went to the gym X amount of times this month. That's terrible. For me, I'll tell myself that's terrible. You're giving them money. You're right. giving them money to only go to the gym X amount of times a month. So you got to make sure that your dollar goes a long way. So so now I'm gonna go to the gym. Maybe I got motivated and did 2 a days one time when I saw that email. I said, oh no, I will not be giving them that amount of money for this amount of times that I go. But I'm only mad at myself. I'm only mad at myself. So it motivates me to go. Yeah. So you got to look for motivators and things to encourage you to do the right things, because it's easy to just sit at home and do nothing and just rot away. Right. And then by the time it's too late, you're like, oh, I wish I would have, I wish I would have went to the gym, or I can't even see my toes because of my stomach or something like that, or
toes, can't even see your.
Yeah. So see synergy. Those are great motivators. And like I said, I want to be able to train my grandson whenever or my granddaughter whenever they pop into the world. Right. I want to be there. I want to be able to be functional, walk up and down those bleachers without, assistance and stuff like that. So, it's just great motivators.
So I've always had that won't be me attitude, right? And like if I saw somebody who was my age or overweight, or somebody was in a wheelchair, or somebody who was less mobile than me, that's not gonna be me. I have this invincible type of attitude, right? And I wasn't doing the things I need to do to have that not be me. I just said that's not gonna be me.
Oh, so you thought it, but never put the plan in action.
Correct. Because I didn't want it, but my lifestyle didn't line up the way it should be for me not to have that. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about years back. So what happened to me was I was 32, 35, went to the doctor. Doctor said, you know what? You have high blood pressure. I'm like, what? Mm. So then he explained to me how high blood pressure is one of the silent killers, right? Mm-hmm. You don't feel any symptoms, you don't feel any pain. There's no symptoms. So I'm like, okay. But he told me that, this could kill you. Your kidneys can fail, your heart can fail, you can have a stroke. I'm like, what? I'm 32 years old.
Right.
So that for me was my wake up call, right? And I said, you know what? From this point, even though that won't be me, at some point that became me, because now my body was reacting to how I was eating, my lifestyle, my stress level, and everything I was doing was counterproductive to the result that I did not want. So I'm like, well, you know what? My kids are young. My son wasn't even married yet. I had my grandkids. I have to be here for these important moments. I have to be here to walk my girl down the aisle. I have to be here for my son's wedding. I have to be here for my grandkids whenever I have them. Because at that point, my kids were still young.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, if I have grandkids, I need to be here. So whatever it takes to keep my life going, I'm going to do. And through those years, I've had ups and downs. I've had bouts of good years and bad months. But for the most part, I made sure that I was doing things I needed to do to make sure that my life was prolonged. And I started eating right, going to the gym, changed my nutritional lifestyle, but my blood pressure was still high. I'm like, hold up. Okay, this can't be right. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
Cutting out the salt, going to the gym. But then I found out doing my research, so this is something that the doctors don't tell you.
Good old
and that's why they practice medicine, right? So I found out that your blood pressure is really a part of your stress level. And your stress level is based on your lifestyle. you know, your work, you know, how much conflict are you having, just how much strife you're having, right? So my life was, you know, I had a stressful job, you know, being an entrepreneur, trying to get in and make things happen. You know, having some conflict, you know, in life. I'm like, well, that's part of keeping a low blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
And just the food, it's a total lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
Total change.
when I changed that, things started to really like balance out. But that was my wake up call was when they say, hey, you know what, you have high blood pressure.
Yeah, that's crazy. For me, it was more of I was blessed to. It was everybody around me who were either dying or gotten sick or had type 1, type 2 diabetes, and I'm like, well, you know, you're younger than me. You are. So when I seen these things happen, I'm like, oh, this is just too close to home. Now, thankful for some good reason. I don't know. It's weird that I don't eat terribly bad.
Yeah.
You know, I try to stay away from a lot of beef and a lot of pork. And I eat a lot of. I've always believed in having green on your whatever you eat. You should have green on your plate. You should have green around you. So I've always been a big salad guy, a big broccoli guy. So incorporating all that, my eating habits aren't terrible.
Yeah.
Now, there were times where you get lazy and you just don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You just want to lay around, or you just want to, you know, work, and then you feel you're working so hard, you don't have time to spend that extra energy in the gym. You just want to go home and crash.
Yeah.
And that was me. And then that's when I blew up to almost 300. I think I was up to like
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was up to like 280 something. Yeah, it was like 280 something. And it was just, you know, I had hurt my back, but it was still, I still could have done some things to like help it out, maybe lighter weights, or, you know, just doing some lighter cardio, some lighter exercises to help me sustain that. But I did absolutely nothing. And once my back was fine or better, one of the things that gives me, I work out better is sometimes it's not the gym. Sometimes it's the basketball court.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I lost weight a lot faster, just by going to play basketball every week, sometimes twice a week, just going to play, and then going back into the gym and doing those. I always say I want to be a healthy. This is gonna sound morbid as hell, but I want to be a light corpse. I don't want to have, you know, 30 people trying to carry me. You know, I don't want that. So I want to make it easier for them. So I don't want to be that. I want to be. We already big dudes. The Lord don't need no help.
I'm not that big.
You okay? We gonna go with that, Mister. You put my seat all the way to the trunk. you pull my seat all the way to the trunk when we were rolling. You got to go all the way back. I'm like, it's small in here. You just big in here. You got a small car. That's all. You just big in here.
You got a small car, bro.
But yeah, you bigger than me, bro. Pause. But
unpause.
Lost my train of thought. So yeah, I wanted to do better. I wanted to get healthier, and sometimes your spouse or your partner tell you too, and it's more important. It's so important that they tell you, but it's how they tell you. You know, it's not how they word things is very important, because
damn, you a fat fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy. Or get off me, or ooh, this is getting too much. Ooh.
You're so unattractive.
Yeah, all of that stuff, it just goes negative. But I got the, you know, are you fine with that? You cool with that? I'm like, absolutely not. Well, you know, we got to work on that. You know, it's just it's how you talk, you know, to each other, and the greatest motivator, the slightest positive word that you get can push you so far in the right direction. The same thing can be said about the opposite side of it too. Yeah. How you negatively speak to your partner can ultimately affect them in ways that you probably didn't even think. So when they say words are powerful, words are very, very powerful. And we should all kind of be conscious of how we speak to one another, how we edify one another.
Yeah.
So thank God that I was edified in a good way.
Yeah. That's always good. I mean, because you have someone that supports your goals, your dreams, your visions. You know, because a lot of times, you know, like even if as men, we get so comfortable in where we are. You know, our job, our relationship, our parenting. Just get caught up in a routine, right? And then 10 years later, you gain 40 pounds, 50 pounds, right?
Yep.
And we would never say it, but we notice it. You know, we know, and also would never say it. And we're a bit self-conscious about how we look because we don't look our best. Right. We see other people out there who are looking good and who are doing things, but we are not. Right. But we definitely notice all of that, and it's difficult because a lot of times men fall into a depression, right? And then we emotionally eat. You know, we don't get the weight off. But and I think it's important to touch on because it's not as easy as just going to the gym.
No.
Right?
No.
It's not. You may go once or twice, but it's not that easy because you have to get your mental together, right? You have, like they say, mindset is everything, right? It is. Your mindset is everything.
Yep.
And when you go into the gym and you see these people who are in great shape, that can be kind of demotivating, right? But also knowing that if you put it in perspective and say that, you know what, they worked for that body.
Yep.
They got their mindset right for that body. And if they can do it, I can do it. Because it's nothing but work. And as a man, just like you want your girlfriend or your spouse or significant other to look good and be attracted to, you also want to be that for them as well too.
Yeah,
right.
I think you should. Yeah,
you should. And I ain't saying be in perfect shape, have a 24 pack or whatever.
Right.
You know, just be attractive. Right. Now, if you got married and you were big boned, then fine.
like big bone,
right? Then fine. But if you were, nice, slim, and fit, and you got married, that's the person that your spouse was attracted to, right? And not saying that they should not be attracted to, but you got to take some pride in how you look, especially if you came from an athletic background.
Yeah.
Because you know how to work out. You know how to lose weight. You know how to stay in shape. You do. But if you're not, do you believe that's being kind of selfish?
No. I think that is being very considerate because...
So it's not selfish to... Maybe I'm answering my question. So I'm saying that being overweight and unattractive to your spouse, is that part being unselfish? Well, I'm sorry, is that part being selfish?
Is that part of being selfish? I think it is. Now
okay.
Yeah. Because that's saying, and realistically and honestly, that's saying I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about how this is me now, and you either love me or leave me alone. I hate that because, especially if that person who's gained weight expects their spouse to look a certain way.
Yeah.
How dare you think that the same doesn't go for you? Like, what do you think? Just because maybe you're the provider, and you've gained weight because you're working, but you demand your spouse to look a certain way.
Right.
How dare you? How dare you? You should have the same, that motivating factor that you have for her to look a certain way. You need to feel that about yourself as well. But to go back to your point, I like when you brought up the gym and going to the gym and you see others who are, just look like they live in the gym and all of that stuff. It's very important that I think that we mention, it's very important that we mentioned about staying in our lane. Yeah. Like, some of us aren't built to be, super swole like that. That's not how we're built. So what does fitness look like for you? You're going to the gym for you. You're not going to the gym to compare yourself to other people.
But people do though.
They do.
They
do.
do.
I know they do. But that's where you get caught up. Like you can go to the gym and you can look at that as a motivator. Is like, to get better for yourself. But to look exactly like somebody or to be just like that,
it's not what happened.
It's not going to happen. And then you set yourself up for failure because you're like, I'm in the gym, I'm doing all this work, and I'm in the gym, I'm lifting weights. I'm in there twice, 3 times, 4 times a week, and I don't look like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look like that. You don't know what supplements they're taking. Right. You don't know what unhealthy things that they're doing.
Genetics.
Their genetics.
You don't have that.
How long they've been doing this. You don't know none of that. So it's very important that your fitness and your healthiness is that exactly what it is, yours. It's not, the person over there or, the person over there. But it's a good motivator. It's a good, that's a machine I might want to try to work on my quads. I've been trying to work on my quads. I'm going to try that machine over there. That's how you can go to the gym and look at it like that way. But yeah, it's very important that you don't go to the gym trying to imitate what you see. You should go to the gym trying to be the best version of you. Yeah. And that's what the gym is there for. So just be the best version of you in your home. And as long as you're happy with yourself, then the rest will follow. Everybody else is going to follow, because a confident man in himself, his family's going to love that confidence. The people around you are going to love that confidence. So but if you're going into it with, well, I don't know, I got this, I want to go, especially if you got to go somewhere and you don't work out, you just be like, I need to go work out. I got this vacation coming up in 2 months. I need to go work out, but you never work out. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about? So I think I just said Nike has the best slogan ever. Yeah. The best slogan ever. And if you want something, you just go do it. And if you can't get to the gym, okay, so go for a walk. Yeah. Find something with some inclines and declines. Park further from Target, Walmart. Yeah. From the grocery store. Change your diet. Get some green in you. And then self-care. Do some self-care things, because a lot of stuff, you look at yourself and you're like, oh, man, I'm overweight. My skin's bad. Oh, man, I'm overweight. I got these ingrown hairs. Oh, I'm still overweight. Okay, what are we doing? You've pointed it all out. Yeah. But what now are you doing to attack the issue, so to speak? So, actions. Yeah. Just have actions.
Yeah, I just think people need to just start with, because I think it gets overwhelming at times for people. They think they need to hop right in and do everything. I gotta be at the gym 5 days a week. Yeah. I gotta hit every machine. And if that's not what you're used to, then you're gonna burn out very, very quickly. So I just start with your diet, because actually that's more important than the gym. Yeah. Right? Because you can drop weight by just eliminating sugars, certain starches, certain carbs. Just say that you stop drinking soda. Right, you start do more veggies. So if you start there with just like taking out one bad item out of your diet per week, I think that's a good start, because like the gym for people is super intimidating. Yeah. So they don't go, especially for men. Yeah. Right. It's super intimidating. So it's like, just start where you can. So as you start to drop pounds and lose weight, I think that will start to motivate you more. Yeah. Right. Because
build that confidence up.
Because it's a marathon, right? It's a marathon, and most people think that I can get in the gym. You ever seen that movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger? And,
yeah, I did. That's actually a good
Danny
movie.
DeVito.
Yep.
So they were going to there's a scene where they're going to meet their mom, right? Because they were adopted and separated at birth. So they're going to meet their mom, and Danny DeVito was in the hotel with his, I believe it was his girlfriend, and he's doing push-ups, right? Push-ups. He's like, you gotta be like, is it working? That was weight?
Just that quick,
just
right?
that quick, right?
Right.
And that's real. Yeah. People think that if they do this for a day, a week, or a month, it's going to change. but you didn't get that way a day, a week, in a month, right? It took time. Now, it's easier to put on than take off, but it still takes time.
It takes time. It takes discipline.
Right. So it just moving that consistency, and I like the title Ageless Athlete, because if you continue to have that athlete mentality, the athlete actions, you really will become ageless, right? In a sense. I mean, look at our boy LeBron James, who just got smashed last night by Ant-Man.
Our boy.
And them. Yeah,
okay.
Our boy.
Okay.
In the sense of ageless.
Okay.
In that sense.
Okay.
I mean, the man's 40 years old.
I do respect that.
And putting up numbers like he's 19, 17, 18, 19, right?
Played the entire second half.
Putting up numbers, right? And why is that? Because he takes care of his body, right? And that's a true example of an ageless athlete. The actual numbers might be taken away, but your body saying, you know what, I'm not done. You know, I got so much left, right?
And he's doing stuff that 40-year-olds aren't doing. Like, you know, I don't care how much you work out or how much you know. I haven't seen a 40-year-old play like that.
Nah.
I haven't seen.
There hasn't been one.
Nah, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, so I'm literally thinking of all of the Karl Malones of the world, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars of the world. You don't see it. You don't see it. So hat go off to LeBron for taking care of himself and sustaining his body.
Right.
But again, he made a choice.
Right.
You know, he made a choice and he stuck with it, and he's created. When you do something for a long period of time, you create discipline, but even more importantly, you create a lifestyle for yourself.
Yeah.
You do it long enough, pretty soon, that's all you know.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes routine. Mm-hmm. Just like if you were to come home from work, kick your shoes off, and plop down on the couch for 3 hours.
Right.
The same exact discipline it takes for you to do that. That's exactly what he did. The hard thing is to continue to do it. So not everybody just wants to get up and go work out. Not everybody wants to get up and change their diet. They love their cakes. They love their, cinnamon buns. They love.
Why keep referencing cinnamon buns, bro?
Bro, it's just because you and cinnamon buns, y'all had an experience. So, and one day we'll share. But yeah, cinnamon buns. They love all of that stuff, and sometimes we trick ourselves too. Yeah, I work this hard. Yeah. You know, I grind so much for my family, and I provide so much. I can eat this because I feel I deserve it. Yeah. But in the long run, what is it? You know, what does it look like? You keep making those excuses for yourself. Next thing you know, you just perfect example. I love Hostess cinnamon coffee cakes. Love those things. I used to buy them by the box. Like and they would just be my midnight snack. They would just be, I put them there, and I always thought like, okay, I like them. I deserve, I don't eat. I buy 10. It usually lasts me about 2 weeks. Cool. Rationalizing it in my head, but I'm like, this isn't gonna be a good habit moving forward. So I gotta curve it a little bit. So I just stopped. I stopped buying them, and when I have the desire for them, I'm like, I'm doing this for a reason. I have to remember what I'm doing it for, and I substituted. I substitute that. Now I buy grapes. I eat a lot of grapes. I gotta have a substitute. I gotta have something because, as we all know, sidebar. My sleep this week.
Good.
Better, a little better. So 7 days in, I had 2 setbacks for the week. I was, I went to sleep at 4-ish and 3-ish.
Dang.
So 2 separate days. And, but I have gotten better. I've went to sleep before midnight twice this week.
All right. So, give you props for that, bro.
Appreciate you. All right, now let's get back to what we're talking about.
I think it's a sidebar because it goes along with with health, and
it does go. It does go along with health, and I think that's my health journey. Yeah. Trying to sleep appropriately.
What are you up doing?
Bro, sometimes I'm in my phone, I'm working on designs for the mantle. I'm working on designs for QR codes. I'm listening to a book. I keep headphones by my side of the bed, and I'll just put them in, not to disturb everybody. So
So you're being productive.
I'm productive 75% of the time. That other 25% is usually all the good stuff comes on late at night.
Let me ask you this question. So are you going to bed at 4 and waking up at 8 or 9, or are you sleeping a full 6-7 hours?
No. So yeah, that's the problem. Okay. So I'm going to sleep at 4, and I think I got up at 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 5 hours.
You need at least 7.
I need 6, at least 7, 8 hours.
7, 8, yeah.
And I think that's I'm working on it. And I'm starting to see that it's not so much as the sleep. It's my mind won't allow me to sleep that long. Like people say, you got to get the good sleep is in REM sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think I hit REM sleep a lot, if not, or at all.
Well,
really.
REM sleep overall is rare.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like people, it's rare because your mind is going.
It's racing.
It's racing. So
yep.
It's kind of rare, but it really doesn't matter when you go to sleep. It matters how much sleep you get.
How much sleep you get.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can go to bed at 4, but if you wake up at like 10, 11, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, based on how our days go, that's something that you really don't have the luxury to do. Sleep to like 10, 11, 12 o'clock.
Exactly. So that is the thing. Like you sleep until 11 o'clock, half the day is pretty much over with.
Yeah, especially if you do business on the East Coast.
Yeah. And that's one thing. You know, I'll once a week, I'm on conference calls on the East Coast. So it's like 8 o'clock East Coast time is 5 our time. Mm-hmm. So to be up in like, you know, there has been times, it hasn't been recently, but there has been times where it's Sunday has turned into Monday morning, and it is maybe 3 a.m, and I'm like, I got to get up in 2 hours.
Or you can just do business back in Hawaii. They're 3 hours behind us.
Yeah, I could do that, or I could just go to Hawaii.
There you go.
There has been times where I've just stayed up and then went to sleep after my call, my East Coast call. So that has been that I did that one time and wound up sleeping all day, and I felt like shit. Like,
but I mean, sometimes that's required. Right?
I know.
I mean, sometimes you're not always going to get the perfect sleep. I mean, like you talking about 4 a.m.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, me. I'm like, dang, it's 11:30, and like this is late for me, right?
Don't give yourself 11:30
because
it's 9 o'clock.
No, I'm saying like the long days when I have things to do. Like that's my max.
11.
Midnight. It's midnight.
It's a whole nother day.
Yep. Right. So I get it. Sometimes, stop laughing at me, Sean. Sometimes that it's going to happen, right? But you talking about 4? I mean, 4 is like I get up at 5.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like. Yeah, so if I'm in bed by midnight, I'm like, I got 5 hours. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes you have so much to do in those days that it's okay once in a while. But if you're doing it every single night, your body is going to respond to that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to respond to that, and it's definitely going to, like, shut down when you least expect it. I mean, we have our meetings on Monday. About what time do I just start to get, like,
2 o'clock.
About 2 o'clock. Yeah. 2 o'clock, it's time to go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep.
It's 2 o'clock. Barron shining.
About 2 o'clock, it's time to go to sleep. And that's just my body telling me, like, you need to go to sleep. But my mind will say it's 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the day. Right. Like, you go to sleep now for what? Everybody is, moving and hustling and bustling. Right. So my mind will tell my body, like, no, you'll go to sleep later.
Right.
And then that later turns into the very next day. Right. So it's a constant battle. We talk about this stuff, and that's a good thing that we're talking about this here, because we don't talk about nothing that we don't go through ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're not oblivious to the things that we talk about. We go through what we talk about, which is, why we doing it. So, yeah, I'm working on it. And mind versus body, they battle each other a lot, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, and that's the definition of mastery. It's like you're working on getting to that goal. But I think like once you hit a goal, it's also gonna be something's also always come up that you need to work on or adjust, and it's about moving, adjusting, because there's never like a straight line, right? You're always gonna be thrown off here and there. So long as you adjust, back to your goal, I believe you'll be good. And I just don't want people to think that you have to live a life of perfection. Right. Everything has to be, because I don't, right? I sometimes don't sleep. I sometimes, eat like crap. I miss the gym. There's so many things. I drink soda. I drink sugar. I eat cinnamon buns. Not anymore. But there's so many things that I would do in a week because I say that my, in a sense, cheat day is Sunday, right?
That's valid.
It's Sunday. But going back and looking at the true meaning of cheat day, it's not cheat day, it's a cheat meal, right? So I make all Sunday, I just go crazy. But technically, if you're on a health journey, you should have one cheat meal per week, right? And then
I think you should.
But
you should.
Sunday, every meal is a cheat meal for me. Every meal.
So, yeah, it's your cheat day.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a cheat meal, not cheat day.
Oh, well, everybody has, I've heard cheat day.
Yeah, well, okay.
Have cheat day. So ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's not because I do it. But just I'm saying to say is that everything, you don't have to get down on yourself if you mess up one day, 2 days, or even a week, right?
Right.
It's just, someone told me before, it's not the mistake, it's what you do after the mistake.
After,
right?
Exactly.
And
what you learn from the mistake.
Because we're going to mess up. So don't put yourself on this super strict, rigorous diet of working out and eating, especially if you're just starting out.
Right.
Because I guarantee you're going to fail at that. Right. So if you want to be a ageless athlete, give yourself some grace, create a plan, and work that plan the best of your ability.
To what works for you.
Yep. Don't compare yourself to anybody out there because, like you always say, you're one of one, right? There's no one like you.
One of one. Yep.
And there's no one like the person that you're comparing yourself to.
Yep.
I get it. We're human. We're men, and sometimes we compare ourselves without even knowing it. But just stick to your plan. Even though I have workout partners, I still have my plan. Even though I do workouts that they do, I have my plan. I know what my goals are. Right.
Yep.
And right now, I had to take a little bit and listen. And listen. The important thing, listen to your body, because your body will tell you. Your body won't lie to you. So this past week, I've had to take it easy and really take some time off because I hurt my elbow. Right. I'm not going there and push and hurt myself permanently. I'm gonna just take a break, lay off the weights, take a break, and do more cardio, do more core work, right? And spend less time on the weight, but using more body weight because I can feel it getting worse because I felt it a few months back, but I kept
push through it.
And now it's like, you know what? Nah, bro, you need to chill. So listen to your body because if you want to become ageless, I keep saying you have to take care of yourself because ain't nobody coming to save you.
Ain't nobody coming to save you. And more importantly, to be ageless athlete, you got to know what you, as an ageless athlete, are working towards.
Yeah.
Like we said almost an hour ago, like we want to be here for our grandkids.
Yeah.
We want to be able to train our kids. If you pushing yourself in the gym and elbow gives out or now it's permanent, your grand scheme of life of being an ageless athlete is now you've hurt that.
Right.
So we have to work towards our why, work towards our purpose. And if it doesn't make sense to do it because it's going against what we are working towards ultimately, then we change it up. We don't necessarily, you didn't stop going to the gym, you just change your focus a little bit. You let the body heal. So that's what we, especially if like I know I pushed through injuries. Yeah, I know I pushed through. ankle injuries, back injuries, fingers, wrists. I pushed through. You say hip? Yeah, I pushed through a lot of injuries. And when they tell me the gym's going to be closed for a couple of months, I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
but then I'm also like, now I can give my body a chance to heal. And then I won't play on Mondays. I'll just play slightly on Thursdays now, you know. But definitely know where your body is. Listen to your body. You only get one. You only have one.
Yeah.
And go from there. So listen to your body.
Listen to your body. All right. What you got for us in closing?
Outside of listening to your body, make sure we just give yourself grace and know that focus on trending in the right direction. Don't focus on your end goal. Like, I want to get that right now. No, focus on trending in the right direction.
Right.
So as long as you're trending in the right direction, give yourself grace and continue to push through the laziness that we all tell ourselves. You'll become an ageless athlete, whatever that looks like to you.
Right. I love it. All right. So that is the truth about him. Let's go. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the show. As always, we definitely value every minute you listen to us or watch us.
Yes.
Please share the love, because people out there need this information. So if you know anybody that you love or even hate,
right? Yeah. They need this.
They need this. So like, share, subscribe, and please comment, because your comments help us create new show ideas.
Yes.
We'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a good week. Peace.